Greetings and welcome to week 12 of Introduction to Addictions. We are almost there. We've got marijuana this week, something you might be a little more familiar with than when we were discussing huffing or some of the synthetic drugs out there. You all probably know somebody who has smoked it at one time or other, marijuana. We're asking the question on the discussion board whether or not it should be legal, whether or not it is legal in Alaska. Some people will tell you it is, at least certain amounts. So is it legal in Alaska? Should it be? It's interesting. We've got some really excellent modern, in the present case studies to look at. We can look at Colorado, we can look at Washington, who have both legalized now recreational marijuana. Now, just because they have legalized it doesn't mean you can walk into Walmart and buy it. In fact, they're both struggling and they're both going in different directions on what it's going to take to legalize marijuana. So you've got some neat things to look at. If you Google up some news articles from either one of those two states, you can see exactly what they're going through right now, what their thought process is, what they're thinking. You know, everybody thinks that we legalize this and we make bazillions in tax dollars and it solves all our economic woes. And higher education is once again fully subsidized by the state, and your classes only cost $15 a piece instead of $500 a piece. May or may not be true. So look into those aspects, see what's going on. It's neat that there's something going on so close to us, down in the Northwest and in the Rocky Mountain states, that we will get to learn from and hopefully not make the same mistakes if they're making any mistakes. And hopefully we learn from their exercises they're going through. Next week, week 13, performance enhancing drugs. I didn't necessarily want to talk about baseball and bicycling and those sports that are in the news oh so much when it comes to performance enhancing drugs, although you are free to do so, and I suspect you will. I kind of took an interesting route. We're going to talk about dog mushing, a little more Alaskan-y sport, but feel free when we get there next week to talk about modern day other sports. Also, where else one might want your performance enhanced besides sports, and drugs might help. After that, week 14 is prevention and treatment. You know, it's kind of sad. We're only putting 1 week into that, so we'll have to really do some good discussion. I know throughout the class, luckily, when appropriate, you've been able to talk about some prevention and treatment methods. You know, we talked about DARE, we talked about different halfway houses and stuff. So we've talked about it during the class, but we'll devote the last week to prevention and treatment and what's going on up here in Alaska. After that's finals week, and we are done. Finals week will be very similar to midterm week, except you won't have anything due except for the final. Final will look just like the midterm, except it'll be the second half of chapters, same number of questions, same type of questions. There won't be any reading assignment due that week or any writing assignments. If, however, you're missing a few writing assignments and you would like to get those in for credit, that's your last week you can do it. I need it by Friday of finals week. So if you're missing a couple papers, you want to get them in, go ahead and do so. It doesn't do any good to go back and do the discussion board because there's nobody there to discuss anything with. So you're pretty much limited to just your papers for catch-up. But feel free to do that finals week if you'd like or you need to. That's about all I think I've got this week. So marijuana should be a interesting discussion. I'm interested to see if anybody says don't legalize it. I mean, we've kind of been to talking along the way. Well, it's safer than alcohol. It's going to bring in bazillions to the state. Be interesting to see if everybody just lines up for legalization, or if we have any good discussion points out there. So, see you in class.